everybody and welcome back for another week of the wine challenge. So we're on week 21, our penultimate week this week, and we've gone for a very typical Greek wine. So this is the Maleatis. Now this is actually a blend of a few different very native old Greek grapes. So you've got, and I'm going to try not to butcher this, Asiatico, Rhoditis or Rhoditis, and Monemvasia. Now I hope I didn't butcher those too much, but that's essentially the blend of grape varieties that are in this wine, and they've all been grown in the same region together to create this particular blend. Now I can honestly say I've never tried any of these grape varieties before, so this is something completely new to me, and I'm quite looking forward to it. So let's get stuck in. So my bottle has been chilling, and to be honest, you don't want to chill it too much, maybe for 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that in the fridge, just to get that temperature down a smidge. So let's go through our 5 S's as usual. So we'll start with S number 1 with C. So as I pour myself a measure, I'll have a little look. I can see it's quite a strong yellow colour. I'm actually against quite a white background there, which is handy. And it's fairly intense in colour as well, but it's more of a lemony yellow, like a sunshine yellow. There's no other kind of hints of orange or green or anything like that in there. So S number 2 is sniff, so we'll start by a little preliminary whiff. Ooh, so that automatically, that jumps out the glass. I don't even need to get too close to it. It smells almost a little bit kind of like slightly peachy or apricotty, sort of a bit of stone fruit in there, but also quite floral. Do peaches have blossoms? Like a peach blossom? I don't know, something a little bit kind of aromatic going on the nose. So let's open it up a little bit and see if I can define that a little bit more. So S number 3, we'll give it a good swirl, open up the wine, and then S number 4, we'll give it another sniff. Oh, that's definitely opened it up a little bit. It is quite floral, but it's not like a heady floral scent. It's quite fresh kind of flowers, you know, like early spring. I don't think I could define a particular flower, but and yeah, I definitely stick to those kind of slightly juicier fruit notes kind of going through there, like stony apricots and peaches. It does smell really quite delicious. Okay, let's see if I can gather any more information from S number 5, our favourite S, sip. Cheers. So preliminary sip, coat the mouth. It's got quite a long finish to this one. So I swallowed it and there's definitely still a bit of flavour on my tongue. It's not super acidic. There's the first coating, let's go in again. Still definitely something quite floral, something quite round. It's like, it's going to sound horrible, but like kind of perfumey in your mouth. Like it's almost like lingering there, but in a nice, way. Definitely stick to stone fruits. I think I'm definitely getting a bit of peachy apricot. Maybe even just like a tiny little squeeze of lemon as well. Just a little drop of citrus in there. But yeah, I definitely keep to the floral. It's got a really long finish, and I think that comes from the floral tones to it. And there is, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, it's got that similar kind of almost aftertaste that I've been getting on a lot of the wines that have been described as mineral. So potentially floral, mineral, maybe I'm swapping the two together, I don't really know, but for me, I initially think floral, but potentially a bit of mineral in there. It's really nice. It's quite lingering, but it's got that freshness and that fruitiness, and then that floral kind of comes through afterwards, and that's what remains on your palate. So it kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of summery, which is perfect for this time of year, even though today may be a little bit grayer, so I wasn't able to do it out in the courtyard. But it's very much kind of a summery style of wine, or at least that's what I'm getting from it. Like I feel like I could be sat in like a botanical garden, you know, sipping on this, having a strawberry or two, it'd be lovely. But I think that's most of what I'm going to get from this. So let's have a little look and see what the computer says. So on the notes for this wine, it says deep floral and fruity aromas. Definitely. Definitely got floral coming through, definitely got fruity coming through. So you've got pear, which I didn't get. Interesting. I mean, pear I'd always kind of classify as like a green fruit, so it kind of runs along the lines of like apples and stuff for me. But then when you get like those really ripe, almost overripe pears that are a little bit juicier, and they've got almost like a slight graininess to them, I can kind of maybe see how that could translate, but it wasn't the first thing that came to my mind. You've got apricot. Yeah, I got apricot. I got a little bit of peach in there as well, a little bit of peachiness. Spring flowers, definitely floral, and subtle citrus. Yeah, I think there is a little like, it's almost like when you get a fruit salad and they drizzle a little lemon over the top of it just to kind of keep all the fruit fresh and like zingy. I think it's a bit like that. These fall onto the rich, balanced palate, filling the mouth with fruit salad. I feel like I'm psychic here. Filling the mouth with fruit salad before the mineral backbone provides a crisp, long finish. Fruit salad, what can I say? I clearly got that right. Mineral backbone, crisp, long finish. I kind of, again, that floral and kind of mineral, it's this weird roundness that I was getting in my mouth. I couldn't quite decide what it was. I thought maybe a bit floral, but mineral makes sense. It does have that quality that you got to some of the other more mineral wines that we've tried throughout the challenge. I think I'm getting a little bit better at kind of identifying when there's a mineral taste. A crisp, long finish. I think that's a bit of a contradiction, saying something's crisp but also has a long finish to it, because crisp I kind of feel is like crisp, it's short. But it's got this long finish, but it's like the fruit ends, so that's the crisp bit, and then you've got this long kind of floral, minerally kind of aftertone to it. But let me know how successful you were, whether you managed to pick out any of the flavours that I kind of half did, and those that I didn't. I quite like it. I think it's definitely something that you could maybe take on like a picnic. You know, some nice gardens or a nice park or something like that, and I think would be lovely. It also kind of work quite well with foods that you'd be able to take to a picnic. So, for example, the cheese that we've got for this week is feta, Greek, gotta be. And we've also got some sort of herby olives going on in there as well. If you were looking for other foods that you could potentially pair with this wine, you've obviously got your things such as, you know, Greek salads, but also things like grilled fish, your shellfish, or sort of Mediterranean dishes, potentially more tomato-y based ones, because again, it's not like mega high in acidity. The tomato has a little bit of acidity. I think it would balance quite well together. So maybe like some grilled vegetables with, you know, tomato would be delicious. But let's give the feta a little bit of a go. So, got myself a chunk here, cheers. I do love a little bit of feta. It's got like a slightly creamier, more crumbly texture, but it's got quite high acidity to it because it's a younger style of cheese and it crumbles and, oh, it's delicious. Interesting, so again, the acidity from the cheese, because it is slightly more acidic, and then you've also got the salt content as well. When you have a little piece and then drink the wine straight after, again, it kind of exacerbates the fruit flavours that are there initially in the wine. So it makes that fruit a little bit punchier. Then obviously the fruit does what I think it does in this wine, it kind of tails off and you get that floral note at the end. It's quite a pleasant combination actually. That's a match made in heaven, that's beautiful. Let's give it a go with an olive. The olive is a little bit meatier and a little bit kind of heavier than the cheese is, which kind of helps me to understand how, you know, this wine would work with those slightly kind of, not really richer, but more punchy dishes, you know, like the tomato-y kind of Mediterranean-based foods, or, you know, grilled fish, like a good grilled strong fish. And it does work quite well. I think because it's got the fruit, but it's got that kind of floral mineral backbone to it. it does stand up for itself quite well. It doesn't need just to have super light or super creamy dishes. It definitely works for something a little bit stronger. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it. Let me know, seeing as it's our last white wine, what's been your favourite so far. And of course, join me again next week. It's our finale, it's the final week. I've saved something a little bit special for you for our last week next week. We're doing French Cremant, so we're going for a fizz, and let's just end this challenge with a bang. I'll be sad to see it go, really. But until then, enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of the bottle. And as they say in Greek, yamas!